Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Kneejerk stream for Game Week or 22-23. What a mad Game Week 22 has been so far. A lot to discuss. Obviously, we've just come off the back of watching Liverpool beating Chelsea quite handsomely. But yeah, we are going to discuss Game Week 22 and all the fixtures and talk about how our teams have performed so far. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? How's your week going so far, and how are you finding the football?
Yeah, it was great so far. So obviously a big turnaround because we only did the deadline stream yesterday. But welcome back us to the Kneejerk. But yeah, it's been an amazing watch of football tonight. I think, despite the big premiums missing out on obviously the football, but it's been eventful. I think all around.
Yeah, definitely, and what a game week so far. Obviously, there's still some games to go, isn't there? Obviously, we know Man United are playing tomorrow.
Yeah, and you got Bournemouth and West Ham as well.
Yeah, so a couple games left, but we thought we'd do this early anyway, because obviously just a quick turnaround again. Another deadline on Saturday, I believe. So don't have much time on our hands. But yeah, let's kick it off with my team. So in goal, I've still got Areola, who's left to play. He plays tomorrow, I believe, against Bournemouth at home. So hopefully Areola could keep a clean sheet. Moving on to the back three. So Pedro Porro played tonight, and unfortunately Spurs did concede twice to Brentford in the 3-2 win. I didn't watch the game, but obviously Pedro Porro did concede twice and didn't get any attacking returns. So he ends up with 1 point. Gabriel, again, with the 2 points, which was again quite nice in the regards of like him starting, because there was a point where I thought he wouldn't start, but luckily he was in the team, and Gabriel did actually end up starting, which was nice after being flagged. So yeah, Gabriel ends up on 2 points, which again was really nice, that in the sense that he actually played, because I was worried he might miss out. But very annoying, I guess. Arsenal did concede very late on in the 90th minute, I believe, from Awoni's goal, wiped the clean sheet. Trent, unfortunately, I had Trent starting. I thought Trent would start tonight. He didn't. He comes off with a blank. Obviously, only played about 20 minutes, if that. And his replacement, for those that didn't watch the game, Bradley come away with 21 pointer after his goal and 2 assists. So yeah, Bradley done brilliant. And unfortunately, Trent came on because I was hoping I can get a jammy 7 pointer off the bench from Trippier, but it wasn't to be. And Trent gets me the 1 point. So yeah, defense blanks all round, but it is a lot better news in the midfield. So let's start off with Saka. Now, Saka's been a bit frustrating to own. I think this is his first double-digit haul since game week 6. So it's been a long time coming for Saka. Very nice that he did finally get it. He did get the goal and also the 3 bonus points after Arsenal's 2-1 win against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal could have actually drew that game in the end. Obviously, they had a late chance in the end. It could have easily been 2-2. Arsenal did come away with a win. And yeah, Saka gets a 10 pointer, which again, I can't complain about. I'm happy I held on to him, I should say. And then again, Saka's got Liverpool next. So it's interesting to see what people do with him in that fixture. Foden, however, did get something. He got an assist, which was nice. And he also got the 1 clean sheet point, I believe, because he was subbed off before Man City conceded, which was again really nice. He did match KDB, I believe, so 6 points. Can't complain too much from Foden for getting a return. Moving on to Palmer now. This was a tight one because I wasn't going to play Palmer. I wasn't sure to play Palmer or Gordon, but I went Palmer in the end because mainly due to him being on penalties. And yeah, I think Palmer, I mean, he absolutely did nothing that game. He was completely quiet. I thought this was probably his worst game I've seen him play, which wasn't involved, to be fair. I think Liverpool defended really well, bar the goal they conceded. And yeah, it's just one of those games from Palmer. And Chelsea, I thought Chelsea were very poor tonight. Palmer couldn't really get involved, couldn't do his magic as what we've seen him, but it's more testament to how well Liverpool were. And Richarlison, my captain, moving on to him. Lovely to see Richarlison get a goal, which was very nice. And I believe he also picked up, I don't think he got any bonus, to be fair. So he got 1 goal and then the minutes played. So obviously 14 points because I captained him. And yeah, Spurs did win 3-2, which was a big win for Spurs, obviously at home to Brentford. And Richarlison's on fire now, another goal in another week. So my transfer did pay off, and also the captaincy sort of paid off as well. But as we'll come on to in the forward line, there is a better player that could have potentially went with. Watkins, nice to see Watkins get a goal. I was actually very happy that Watkins scored to wipe out Trippier's clean sheet, because Trippier was on a 12-pointer before Watkins scored. And obviously, if I had 12 points on the bench, that would have been even more frustrating that I didn't play Trippier. So it was nice to see Watkins wipe the clean sheet. And then Solanke, again, he's yet to play, plays tomorrow against West Ham away. So obviously my goalie and Solanke are playing against each other. I'm hoping Solanke still scores, if I'm being honest, because he's lower owned, I think, than Areola. So I'll take a Solanke goal tomorrow. And then moving on to the highest scoring player of my team this week, in terms of the players, and that is Alvarez. Now, Julian Alvarez, I wasn't really thinking about him as captaincy option, if I'm being honest. I was frustrated with his last couple of games and not really having that big performance that I've seen from him. But he came today. 2 early goals from Alvarez, comes away with a 13-pointer. I believe he also took the 3 bonus points again, so it was nice. Played 86 minutes. And yeah, fair play to those that went Alvarez captain. I didn't really consider him as a captaincy option because I thought Haaland will probably get half an hour, but that wasn't to be. And yeah, Alvarez paid off. And this probably is his last week in my team potentially, because I plan to remove him for Haaland. So yeah, 13-pointer, can't complain. Onto the bench, I had Dubravka, who obviously conceded to Aston Villa, but Newcastle did win. An impressive win for Newcastle. Gordon was a bit unlucky. So Gordon actually should have had an assist. I thought that assist was removed from himself. I thought that was unfortunate. Obviously, as I benched him, I'm quite glad they got removed, because in the end he did blank, but he should have really had an assist. Trippier, 7-pointer, obviously picked up an assist as well. And I'm actually quite happy I held on to Trippier, because Trippier's fixtures turn now, and he's got 3 really nice fixtures coming up. Luton next. So I'm happy to play double Newcastle next week, and they've turned it around. Big win against Aston Villa. They looked a lot better in that last game. So I'm happy to play Trippier in the next game. And then Taylor, obviously, we know he's flagged with 0 points, and he didn't play. So all in all, I believe that's 54 points for me, which again is a green arrow. I believe it's a big green arrow for myself. I think after Tuesday, I was at 400k rank, which is a red arrow. Obviously, I had a lot of players to play, and after today, sitting currently 273k, I believe, which again is a very nice green arrow. Again, it's that top 300k. Again, I've still got wildcard in the back pocket and all the other chips, and I'm hoping in the coming weeks I can make a move towards that top 100k. But yeah, happy with the game week so far. We're still 2 left to play. But yeah, let's do your team, Jordan. Talk us through your week and how it's gone as well.
Yeah, so far, obviously when I played the wild card in Game Week 20, it's so far paid off. But yeah, here's how Game Week 22 went for me. So obviously the goalkeeper's the same for me. He plays tomorrow against Bournemouth at home, Areola. So we'll find out what happens with him tomorrow. But let's move on to the defense. So the same for me as well. There's no attack and returns or clean sheets for my entire defense. But we'll start off with Estepinian, who ends up on 0 points. Now, he was taken off after the first half ended, and obviously when the second half resumed, he wasn't there. He was substituted off for Lamptey, and by that point, Brighton were losing 3-0 in the first half before that finished. And yeah, I think the way that game went, I was shocked to see it ended 4-0 Luton. I did say in the deadline stream, don't underestimate Luton at home, but I never expected them to score 4 goals against Brighton, and Brighton to not score any. So I was a bit surprised and yeah, shocked at the same time with that. But yeah, Estepinian ended up on 0 points due to being subbed off halfway, 45 minutes, and obviously the goals he conceded by that point also deduct him of a point. Moving on to Gabriel. So yeah, we've spoken about him. Obviously, the late goal that Awani scored in that Arsenal game wiped him off the clean sheet, which obviously ended up having Gabriel end on 2 points. So no clean sheet for him this week or any attack and return. And followed by the last defender, and that is Pedro Porro. Similar boat, really. Brentford did score 2 goals, one of them being Tony yet again. So that's a back-to-back return for Tony, just for those who may be looking at him now, especially with his returns coming in thick and fast. But Spurs did hang on to that game and won 3-2. Obviously, Pedro had no clean sheet in that. So, because of the goals conceded against him, he only ends up on 1.2. So let's move on to the midfield where there's a bit more success. So obviously Pascal Gross blanked due to Brighton not scoring any goals against Luton. So he ends up on 2 points. Palmer, he was quite like Casper the Ghost. He was nowhere to be seen in that game. And entirely the whole of Chelsea were nowhere to be seen. Pretty much they were Liverpool all over Chelsea. And it was quite expected, especially at Anfield. It's a hard stadium to play in against any team. So I did hope Palmer could get something from that game, but they did score 1 goal, but it came from Nkunku only. So yeah, Palmer has been silenced by Liverpool this week. Moving on to Saka, and shall I say Saka the Redeemer, because he does come away with a 10-pointer, which I think for those who held on to him, obviously it's quite good fortune, because I imagine he was transferred out a lot prior to this game week. And I think that might annoy some people now that he has managed to get a double haul, which we've been urging Saka to get. And yeah, he scored the goal. He got the bonus 3 in that 2-1 win over Nottingham Forest. And yeah, it's been a split opinion with Saka, but he does find a way to keep you enticed to have him in your team. So it will be interesting what we do with him after this game week. Next, we've got my captain pick for obviously this week, and that is Richarlison. And yeah, he does pay off very nicely. He scored 1 of the goals in that 3-2 win over Brentford. He was on for some bonus points, but I think they were taken off of him. But with the captaincy over him, that is 14 points. So I'm quite happy that Richarlison got an attack return that game, because it did look like he wasn't going to get anything from that game. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the Richarlison return and the 14 points. And finally, we got Foden, who, again, he was another player that was transferred out quite a lot prior to the deadline stream, and questioned why we take Foden out. And he does reward those who did keep him and have the faith with 6 points.
Yeah.
He did assist 1 of the goals in that game where Man City won 3-1 and got the clean sheet point as well. And moving on to the front 2. So, yeah, again, Alvarez comes back with a nice double haul return. But yeah, in that 3-1 win over Burnley, he seems to turn up a lot, Alvarez, in these against newly promoted teams. He did it against Sheffield United, and now he's done it again against Burnley. And yeah, again, quite happy with Alvarez. His 13 points is quite rewarding, especially now a lot of us will be contemplating taking him out for Haaland, who will probably start next game week. So I think we've made up for obviously the frustration of owning Alvarez, but now thankful for the points he's delivered before we actually remove him from our teams. And finally, we got Watkins, again, another redeemer who manages to score after having so many blanks prior to this game week. And even though Aston Villa lost 3-1 to Newcastle, Ollie Watkins did reward us with a goal. He also got a bonus point as well on top of that, which rewarded us with 7 points. So again, he's kept the faith, I think, in terms of Watkins. He does have Sheffield United next. And just quickly on the bench, so I was surprised that this Leno got an 8-pointer in his match against Everton. It did finish 0-0. I'm quite surprised Everton didn't score in that game, or Fulham. It was quite action-packed in terms of shots on both ends. But yeah, Leno keeps a clean sheet. You also got a bonus 2 as well, which is quite interesting. And yeah, I'm hoping that Areola does now keep a clean sheet. Otherwise, I'll be regretting benching Leno. Archer ends up on 1 point. He only played 3 minutes. Brantford, he did get obviously the clean sheet as well, but he did get a yellow card and ends up on 5. And surprisingly, Bell, who would have thought kept a clean sheet against Brighton, and yeah, he's rewarded with 6 points. So yeah, it's been a nice game week so far. I've still got Areola to play as my last player tomorrow, but yeah, it's a green arrow so far. I was on 145k rank, and I'm now up to 115. I was hoping to break into the top 100k, but not quite there. But it is a 30k green arrow, so I'm happy with that. And 57 points with Areola to play.
Okay, lovely. So that's game week 22 briefly covered. Obviously, there's still a couple of fixtures to go tomorrow evening. Let's look at how we're lining up for Game Week 23, because obviously Game Week 23 is fast approaching. It is a Saturday deadline, I believe. So let's pull up teams and show you guys what my bus team looks like for Game Week 23. So hopefully you guys can see that a lot better. If we could change the overlay.
Slight technical difficulty with the overlay. Bear with me one moment with
Yeah,
that.
no worries. I'll take a few comments, guys, while Jordan sorts that out. Who's got Bowen and Udogi was the one who got points. What's Alvarez bonus points looking like? I mean, Udogi did make a big mistake for the goal. I mean, he also scored, didn't he? So it's a bit up and down game for him. But yeah, Alvarez obviously coming away with a free bonus, which was nice. Yemex, 44 points with Ariola and Cunha yet to play. Michael also says 45 points, took a -8. Brian says, hi lads, Darwin Núñez, what a frustrating but exciting player to own. Yeah, Darwin Núñez definitely what could have been. Obviously, a lot of chances, missed a penalty as well, but he's all action. That's fair to say. Animation says, evening lads. Fatalities in the chat as well. Evening gents, 77 points with Ariola to go. Fabian Schär, my hero. Oh, brilliant. I mean, Fabian Schär, what a game from him. Was getting the couple of goals, which must be nice to own. KDB on 7 points with 1 bonus point, says Raz. So he did outscore Foden just by the 1 point. I ended up benching Palmer for Solanke, getting ready for Bournemouth to get a few v West Ham. 2 free transfers this week and not sure what to do. So yeah, we will discuss game week 23 in a sec. Does anyone know if Eze's injury is serious? I transferred him in this week, which was decent, but the Palace boys are getting knocks. Yeah, annoyingly, it does seem like Eze and Olise do pick up a knock every now and then, which is frustrating. I'm not sure how serious it is. Obviously, I was wrong on Eze and Olise. I wasn't keen on them before the deadline, but obviously they went and both got really good scores. So fair play to anyone that went to Eze and Olise, but annoyingly, they both went off injured, I believe. 54 points for me with Bowen and Solanke to play. Foden captain and Leno coming in clutch, says Roman. Morpheus, 72 points from 108 to 40k with all chips still, says Morpheus. So, yep, very good. 40k sitting in the top 40k. I mean, that's very nice rank increase there. And just a few comments from Morpheus. Had a really good week.
Saka captain. Interesting.
Yep. Saka captain paid off, kept the faith, yep. And then Linus also says, hi guys, is Alvarez a hold? Haaland didn't look brilliant tonight. Well, I didn't watch the Man City game, if I'm being honest. So I was watching the Liverpool game. So I don't even know how long Haaland actually played for. But I mean, Haaland's Haaland. I think we will still want him. Whether he looked good or not, I don't think that matters too much to a lot of us. I just think he's one of those players that, you know, he's been out for a while. So when he comes back, we expect him to be on fire again, because we know what he's capable of on any given day.
Yeah, because he was off for a long time injured. So it will take maybe a match or two to him to get back into the groove of things. You did play about 20 minutes. So again, it wasn't really that much to see Haaland play.
Also, guys, I do want to add, if you are enjoying the content, hit that like button. It just really helps support the channel. And also, if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of our content. So, Jordan, this is what my team currently looks like for game week 23. So I'll quickly read it out for you guys in the chat as well. So in goal, I've got Dubravka. I am playing Dubravka over Ariola because Dubravka's got Luton at home, and I was quite impressed with Newcastle. In the back three, I've got Pedro Porro, I've got Trippier, and I've got Trent. Midfield four, I've got Foden, Palmer, Richarlison, and Gordon. And then up front, I've got Alvarez, Watkins, and Solanke. And the keen eye might see, which might sound crazy, but I've got Saka on the bench currently, which I'm not sure I will actually keep him on the bench, especially after Chelsea's performance today. I probably will bench Palmer, who's got Wolves at home. But again, I don't really want to bench Palmer because he's on penalties, and we've seen Palmer do really well. I know he didn't do well today, but Liverpool is a tough fixture at Anfield. So what would you do in my case as you see the teams line up? Most likely my transfer is going to be it's going to be Alvarez out for Haaland, and then Haaland will come in. Let's say Haaland starts. Who are you benching Saka for? Are you playing Palmer, or what's the situation?
Yeah, that's a bit of a headache in terms of benching a player because you really want to play Saka and the rest of them. But I'll probably have to bench Foden, if I'm honest,
Ooh.
and play Saka instead. Even though Saka's got a hard fixture against Liverpool at home, I just think with his ownership being so high and after that 10 pointer as well, it's sort of put a bit more faith in having Saka for that fixture and seeing what he can do. With Foden, it's a bit less, obviously, less threatening with rank and whatnot. And obviously, he did get an assist from the game. But at the same time, I think Saka's definitely not all played or want to be benching, especially at 9.1 million player.
Yeah, I'm being honest. I think the player I'm most likely to bench is Palmer. I know Saka's on there right now. Obviously, as a Liverpool fan, I just back Liverpool to win that game still. And I back, yeah, I just think I have a feeling Saka may blank. But obviously, we'll have to see. But Saka could easily come in for Palmer, and then I bench Palmer. But there's one player in there, like Gordon, for example. There's no way I'm benching Gordon. So for those that didn't watch the game, obviously Gordon was unlucky not to have the assist, but Isak went off injured as well. And when Isak went off injured, Gordon actually played up front, which is again very good for me. So Newcastle currently have no fit strikers. Wilson and Isak are both injured. So that means Gordon is going to play up front at home to Luton, which again is potentially very lucrative for myself. So you look at Newcastle's next three fixtures: Luton, Forest, Bournemouth. I'm quite happy to have Gordon for the next three as well as Trippier. So I'm going to give the Newcastle boys the next three. If they don't perform, then I'm definitely going to get rid of all both of them. So that's the current plan. I'm quite happy to own Trippier, and hopefully he can get an assist as we saw against Aston Villa. Trippier is capable on his day, and yeah, I've kind of saved him. He's a bit of a differential now. I feel like Trippier because a lot of people have got rid of him.
Yeah, a lot of people have got rid of Trippier. He was over 50% ownership.
Yeah.
Now he's
36.
36 now, yeah. So it didn't really affect the rank, which is quite thankful because usually when Trippier gets a nice return, usually our rank goes up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what my thinking behind it is. I think Luton at home for Trippier is a good fixture. I know Luton coming off the back of an impressive win, but their home and away form are quite different. Luton's obviously they are a lot stronger at home, and even Newcastle are a lot stronger at home themselves. So yeah, that's the plan to play the Newcastle guys. Richarlison's not going to be captain. That's just there for now. I'll probably put the captaincy on Haaland, so I'll make Alvarez captain for now. And yeah, the current move is probably Alvarez up to Haaland, assuming Haaland starts. And that will leave me about 0.4 million in the bank as well. And then ideally, I want to be bringing in the Jota. I've been banging on about Jota for weeks now, it feels like. Again, he was very, very impressive today. He got a goal, lovely goal for those that didn't watch it. And he also should have had an assist. If Darwin scores that penalty, there's a potential Jota haul there. So Jota was a bit unlucky. I thought he was brilliant today. But yeah, Jota's the one I do want to somehow fit into my team. And the only way I can really do it is if I get rid of maybe Gordon. But Gordon fixes are nice. So I don't know who I'll get rid of.
You might have to get rid of one of your forwards and play the 5 in the midfield, have the extra midfield slot available. Because
who would I take out though? Who are you transferring out?
It might have to be Solanke as much as I wouldn't want to transfer out him. Or it's either Watkins or Solanke because you're going to have Haaland there in terms of Alvarez. So
but if you want to bring Jota in midfield, obviously Jota's midfielder. So who are you? What midfielder are you taking out to bring Jota in?
I'll probably have to take out Foden out of all those midfielders. That spot.
It's just a double coming up for Foden. I would not want to take Foden out before the double game week 25 against 2 home games against Chelsea, Brentford. So for me, he's not going anywhere.
Do you think Foden will play both of those doubles now that obviously we've seen a bit of rotation in Man City?
Today, I think it's a possibility
because Bernardo was benched today, which may come to a surprise to some. So maybe there's some pet roulette coming up in that double.
I genuinely think Palmer could be the one that goes. I know he's been excellent. I've had Palmer very early, but the fixtures are turning now for Chelsea. Wolves, Palace, Man City, then a blank, Brentford, Newcastle, Arsenal. These are tougher games for Chelsea. Obviously, Palmer's such good value for money that he's quite cheap, but I'm not so sure about Palmer in the next few games. But we've seen him still return. Obviously, he gets penalties, and that could change it all. So I'm not. still hesitant about getting rid of Palmer. Richarlison, I don't want to get rid of. The fixtures are nice. Yeah, he blanks in 26, but the next few fixtures, you want to keep him, especially with Son still away. Gordon, again, I just think his fixtures are really nice for the next 3, and he's potentially going to be playing up front. Saka's the one we were looking at maybe getting rid of, before his 10-pointer. But again, he's got Liverpool next, West Ham, Burnley, Newcastle. So the next 3 or 4 games aren't easy for Arsenal, to be honest. And Arsenal's toughest fixture run is probably now till the end of March, where Arsenal play most of their difficult fixtures out the way, and then it gets easier again maybe in April and in May. But Saka could be one of those that's just consistent returners that will pick up an assist here and there, or goal here and there, and then maybe get you the odd haul. So yeah, it's just hard because Jota is, for me, there's no chance in hell that I'm not going to have Jota in my team when Liverpool double, because Liverpool could potentially double in Gameweek 25. If that's announced, I want triple Liverpool. They're the best team in the league, the best attack in the league statistically, scoring a bunch of goals without Salah as well, who's the main man. I'd want Jota and Darwin double attack if Liverpool get a double game confirmed, because I think they're that good going forward. But yeah, it's just how I fit him in. Maybe Watkins and Solanke have to drop out.
Yeah, because it's going to be expensive with these players, and especially with Haaland coming back into the team as well. The budget for that money slightly dips and becomes a little bit less stretched. So yeah, we have to watch that too, and how we plan these when these doubles come up, if we have enough money. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting what we choose.
Yeah, I think Trippier will probably have to make way for myself if I want the likes of a Darwin and Jota, but I think I can get to Darwin pretty easily if I just downgrade Watkins. I'm actually not against selling Solanke very soon. I think I will sell Solanke soon from my team. I think he's been really good for me so far, but I could easily take him to someone like a Darwin, or I'm looking at Darwin potentially in, because if Liverpool double, I'd want Darwin, even though he's been a bit frustrating, missed his chances, but the ceiling is there, the potential is there with Darwin, and I wouldn't want to miss out on that. So yeah, that's what I'm currently looking at. So it would be just a boring straight Alvarez to Haaland, and I'll roll as a second transfer for another week, and then go into game week 24 potentially with another 2 free transfers. I'll take a few comments, and then Jordan will do the same with your team. You'll read out your boss team and then early thoughts. Is Trippier flagged? I don't believe so.
No, he's not.
He was flagged before the game, but he obviously started against Villa, got an assist, so he should be fine now.
He's clear of a flag on FPL now.
Linus also says, Huss, what did you think of Conor Bradley? Has Trent lost his place now? Well, look, Conor Bradley has been excellent since coming into that Liverpool team. I think he's got like 6 GA. Obviously he got the goal, lovely goal for those that didn't watch here, bottom corner, outside the box. And 2 assists, 2 great crosses as well. 1 great cross for Boslai's header. That was a really nice one. And do I think Trent's lost his place? No. As great as Conor Bradley's been, this is Trent Alexander-Arnold we're talking about, who is one of the best players in the league, period, whether he's a midfielder or a defender. He's that good. Obviously, Trent was playing excellent as well before his injury. So I don't think Trent's lost his place, but Conor Bradley looks like a proper player, and Liverpool just have another option there. If Trent does miss out, if they want to put Trent in midfield, Bradley seems like he's good enough really to actually play and start games against the biggest teams in the league, which is again another bonus for Liverpool. Would you keep Palmer in case it's likely and Nkunku starts and the team plays better when he's in the team? Yeah, it is hard to get rid of Palmer. What's your thoughts on Palmer? Obviously, he wasn't great today, but since you've had him, he's doing well.
Yeah, he's been excellent. I wouldn't get rid of him just because he's had 1 bad game against Liverpool. Bearing in mind, Chelsea had to go to Anfield to play Liverpool, and we know any team that plays Anfield is going to have a tough time. And Chelsea haven't been their best, obviously, in terms of the team. We have seen improvement since Palmer has been, since he's joined Chelsea. But yeah, my expectations weren't high in that game for obviously Chelsea to do well, or even Palmer to score in that game. So no, I don't think. Yeah, I definitely think Palmer's a keep for these fixtures upcoming. Maybe the tough ones for Palmer are a good thing for him.
Morpheus says Jota is amazing. Neil says 44, 2 to go. Morpheus says Palmer out. Saka and Jota have good records against the top teams. Benching either would be risky. Chelsea potential double though. What players would you want from Chelsea apart from Palmer? There's not many for me.
No, that's none for me. I only want Palmer, I think, for that Chelsea double.
Richarlison out, Spurs blank, and Liverpool double soon. Haas, you thinking to do Nunes, Jota, or defender Jota? I think Nunes, Jota, because I've already got Trent, so that would be the triple up. And I don't know if I can even afford that with how expensive Trent is. I'll have to get rid of Trippier, I'm pretty sure. Maybe downgrade Trippier to Estupinian, I was thinking, but even after Estupinian and Brighton last game or yesterday, I'm not so sure on Brighton's defense because they have low key been quite bad this season, Brighton. But they do concede a lot of goals. I think they've only kept one clean sheet, but it is more the attacking returns that you are relying on with Estupinian. My friend's bench: Pickford, Adebayo, Doughty, and Bradley. Oh wow, okay, 54 points in total. I mean, that's the same amount that my whole team got, including bonus points. If my friend bench boosted, he would have been on 105 points. That is probably the most unluckiest bench I've ever seen. I mean, Bradley 21 pointer. That was to miss out on that is tough to take.
And the Adebayo hat trick as well in that game. That was impressive from him. And yeah, that's probably the most expensive bench I've ever seen. If I saw that at my bench, then I probably have to retire from fantasy with all those points on there. I don't think I could recover from that.
Animation says, I'm in the same boat as you, Haas. Might bench Saka because if I was to bring in Haaland for Watkins or Solanke, then it's a benching headache. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one because obviously Saka's got Liverpool at home. Here's a home fixture, to be fair, for Arsenal, so you'd expect a bit more from Arsenal. But the way Liverpool are playing right now, I just have a feeling that they will keep it. They won't concede that many goals. If they do concede, I think it'll be the odd goal. 2 free transfers, and one is probably going to Watkins to Haaland. I still need 0.5. Should I do Richarlison to Gordon or Colwell to Van Heck, Branthwaite? I'll probably remove Colwell. I wouldn't want to remove Richarlison right now, I don't think.
No, I think even with the blank, I think Richarlison's still a holding player. And that does bring me on to something else, because a lot of you guys mentioned in the deadline stream about obviously taking out Son in place for someone else. It turns out South Korea were playing yesterday against Saudi Arabia. They did go to penalties because South Korea did obviously score a goal, so it ended up 1-1. And South Korea did end up winning that game. So that does mean Son is not coming back anytime soon still to FPL. So for those who did hold on to Son, well done. And for those who did take him out, then yeah, it's been interesting with the transfers to not do them too early, just so the game can change that quickly. But it does give means Richarlison more, I think, obviously more purpose to keep him now that Son is going to stay in the Asia Cup for at least another round.
Okay, Jordan, your boss team then, if you can pull it up. I want to see what you're lining up for game week 2023. Just read us out your 11 and then also your initial plans in terms of transfers as well.
So yeah, here's my team that looks like for game week 23. So we've got Leno in goal. Obviously, I'm going to play him over Areola. He's got a better fixture against Burnley away. Let's see if he can keep another clean sheet again. In the back three, we've got Estupinian, we've got Crystal Palace at home. Porro's got Everton away, and Gabriel's got a tough fixture against Liverpool at home. In terms of defenders, I think they're the three I'm playing. I could play Branthwaite, but I see Spurs conceding, and obviously Pedro Porro plays against him, and Bell has Newcastle away, which even though they won 4-0, I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet against Newcastle at the home turf. In the midfield five, we've got Gross, who's got Crystal Palace at home. Still waiting for a return from Gross. He's had a blank since I brought him in. So hopefully he does bring some fortune against Crystal Palace. Foden's got Brentford away, which is a nice fixture in terms of Man City. Saka's got Liverpool at home. As mentioned with Gabriel, it's a tough one, but I think after that 10-pointer, it's put a little bit more faith in Saka now for that double haul he got. You can see Richarlison's got the captaincy over him. Obviously, I'm not going to captain Richarlison, but it's just there for now. Palmer's got Wolves at home. Again, a nice fixture for him, I think, especially after the one he's just had against Liverpool. I think that's a nice fixture for Chelsea to redeem themselves in. And up front, we've got Alvarez, who's got Brentford away. And Watkins, who's got Sheffield United away as well. So I think Watkins will be the outstanding captain pick due to the fixture, but considering he did blank against Sheffield at the home fixture, maybe a lot of people are swayed by that. But he's my vice at the moment. On the bench, we've got Areola. He's got Man United away. Archer's got Aston Villa at home. Brantford's got Spurs at home. And Bell's got Newcastle away. So as far as my plans are for Game Week 23, again, it's pretty obvious, but I am going to bring in Haaland back into my team and going to transfer out Alvarez for him as well. After seeing him back and Pep confirming he's fit and seeing him play, I think that's all the more reason for him to be transferred in for that Brentford away fixture, and I'll probably going to captain Haaland for that Brentford away one as well.
Okay, so it seems like again Haaland is a popular choice to come back into our teams. Obviously, a lot of us have left money in our bank as well, so we're able to get Haaland back in one move. Obviously, I can as well. So yeah, that's looking like it's going to be a popular transfer because we know Haaland's back now, and he should start after being benched this game week. A few more comments here from Linus. Who should I buy, Darwin or Tony? I can't sell Watkins before Sheffield, and Haaland is a must. Well, Darwin's double game week isn't actually announced yet because Liverpool could potentially double in 25, but Brentford's, however, is. So with Brentford, I mean, I like Tony as an option. I'm actually considering Tony myself for my team for the double game week.
And even for this fixture against Man City, Tony has scored against Man City previously in last season, I believe, in that upset. So even for that fixture, I think Tony's good, and all the more reason to set him up for that double as well. He has coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Tony, I'm actually looking at bringing him in and having both of them, Darwin, Tony, and Haaland as a front three, if I can afford it, because I think I would want Tony for that double. Who do Brentford have again for the double? Man City and can't remember who the other team was. Let me just check. Man City and Liverpool for the double. So it is a tough double, but Tony could still get one goal in those games, and then he'll get potentially some obviously minutes, points for playing. So tough double, but
yeah,
Tony's shown that coming back, he's 2-2 pretty much.
Yeah, he is the main man. Mbeumo's still out injured. There's not really a goal scorer for Brentford other than him, and Tony's on penalties, so there's a lot of upside for Tony, I think, for that double, even though it's tough.
Yeah, since coming back, obviously he's had 2 goals, 1 assist in two matches against Nottingham Forest and now against Spurs. The fixtures are tough for Tony. So again, with Darwin though, I still like Darwin as a pick. I know he was a bit frustrating today, a bit unlucky as well. Obviously missed a penalty which he should have really scored. But Darwin has done really well as well in the last couple of games. In the last 4 games, he had 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 Premier League games, which isn't too bad. Obviously, he did get a couple of goals against Bournemouth for his 11-pointer, and then Liverpool's fixtures coming up are decent. So obviously, Arsenal away is a tougher game. It's one of the tougher games Liverpool have left. But after that, Burnley at home, Liverpool could potentially also double in Game Week 25, yet to be announced. They do blank in 26, however, so you'll have to manage that. After that, it's Forest and then City. So, and I just think Liverpool's attack for me is the scariest in the league. So, I'd want a Liverpool attacker in my team personally. I think going without a Liverpool attacker is a bit, I don't know. I don't think it's wise. Put it that way. But yeah,
one.
Yeah, you need at least one, I think, potentially, especially if they have a double or something like that. So yeah. Raz says you have to captain Watkins. To you, Jordan.
Oh well, I don't know about Watkins captain. It's the fixture that, even though it's a great one, I have flashbacks of Watkins blanking against Sheffield United at home, and I don't know if I want to go there again with that captaincy again, especially with it being away. Even though it should be a decent game for Aston Villa and Watkins, I don't know. I have a funny feeling in my gut that I shouldn't captain Watkins for that game week.
Yeah, I'm early thoughts. I'm looking at Haaland, but obviously we'll have to see what Pep says again about him. Is he going to start? I'm assuming Haaland should start, and if he starts, then Brentford away, you probably want to captain Haaland in that fixture. But there are some other decent games, I guess. Richarlison's got Everton. Again, Richarlison's in good form. Some people could be tempted with it. But I think Haaland will be the outstanding one for most managers. Obviously, Liverpool play against Arsenal, so a lot of people could be put off captaining a Liverpool or an Arsenal player in that game. So yeah, Haaland probably will be the outstanding guy. But yeah, guys, any other comments? Let us know what you guys think of the game week ahead, and let us know how your game week's gone so far. Also, if you are just joining in, please do smash the like button. It really helps support the channel and helps push the video out to YouTube. So hit that like if you haven't already, guys. Also hit that subscribe button as well, and all your likes are appreciated as well, and all your subscriptions as well. I do want to discuss a few other things as well, Jordan. So obviously, game week. I'm just looking at game week. It's a Saturday deadline, right? Game week 23.
It is Saturday deadline. So thick and fast with the deadline.
Quite a few interesting fixtures, obviously, in game week 23 as well. Just going back to my team. Obviously, we've got Everton, Tottenham on Saturday, which is an interesting game. Early kickoff. We've got Newcastle, Luton, which would be a good one. We've got Liverpool and Arsenal. Obviously, it's a fixture of the weekend. I think that's fair to say. And also on Monday night as well, we've got Brentford City. So it's a couple of good fixtures coming up. So yeah, let us know what your plans are as well. Going into game week 23. James, is it worth holding Ederson and Estupinian? I'll let you take this one, Jordan.
Well, even though Ederson has a double coming from 25, I think I'd rather go with an attacking player for Man City. Again, Man City conceded late on in that game against Burnley, literally seconds before that game ended, and the clean sheet was white for Ederson. And at the moment, Man City seem to letting 1 or maybe 2 goals a game, even though they win it, and it doesn't keep you much faith in having a defender or even the goalkeeper Ederson for me. But I think Estupinian is worth a hold. I just think Ederson not really for me.
Lina says, what's your plan to use your chips? Yeah, so we will actually do separate videos on that. It's obviously long to discuss chip strategies and stuff and when we plan to use them. So we will do dedicated videos on chip strategies closer to the time, because there's a lot of doubles, etc., to be announced, and also a blank game weeks to come as well. So we will do a video on that. Harry says, best transfers I've ever made: Estupinian and Walker in. Alex Moreno first slot on the bench. Yeah, that's disappointing. Obviously, Walker being benched as well. Elise is a baller, getting a big move in the summer. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Elise. I think Liverpool are keeping a close eye on Elise, so that's one to watch. I think in terms of Liverpool potentially getting Elise in the summer. Again, we'll have videos out on free hits. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really decided, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's a bit early. Whether we lean towards the one in 26 and 29, it will be team dependent, I think.
Yeah. Pretty late one, guys. Hope you had a good week. So yeah, it is a late one. We don't normally stream this late, but because of the way the turnaround is and when Liverpool's game actually ended, we thought we'd go live. So if you are enjoying the content and if you enjoy, us putting out this late stream for you guys, as always, all we ask for, guys, is a like on a video. Who'd you play, Palmer or Bowen? Then Trent or Estupinian via Palace team without Elise or Eze? Well, I'll definitely play Trent. I think you don't want to be benching Trent. And then looking at Bowen, trying to see who West Ham have in game week 23. West Ham play Man United, so I'll play Bowen.
Interesting. I'll probably play Palmer myself.
Yeah,
I'll probably play Palmer and maybe Estupinian if those Crystal Palace players aren't back, like Elise and Eze. Because without those two, I feel like Crystal Palace don't really get on well in games. I think with Elise especially back in the team, it makes a huge difference, like it did in that 3-2 win.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't want to be benching Trent personally, because I think Trent has the potential to get a goal or an assist in any game he plays in, mainly an assist. And he's also a bit of a bonus points magnet as well. Uwas has had a bad week, currently on 41 points. Hopefully, you can recover that. So still a long way to go this season.
Yeah, and there's still matches to play as well. So hopefully, players in those too.
I might just sell Trent and get Tony, and I might have some money left for Salah at Gameweek 25, says Abhishek. Best Liverpool triple up in your opinion, and best City triple up. So Jordan, I'll let you go first.
Best Liverpool triple up, I would say Darwin, Trent, and Jota for me. And for the City triple up, I'll probably say Haaland, Foden, and I want to go for defender. I would say Walker. Yeah, I'll go with Walker.
Yeah, I mean the same Liverpool one's the same as me. Trent, Jota, Darwin. About 4. Man City for me is Haaland, Foden, and KDB. I think I'll go triple Man City attack and attack that double gaming they've got. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. I mean, it's been a long stream. Also, we're not going to keep it to an hour today. Obviously, it's a very late one. It is, 11:15 here in the UK time, so nearly midnight. So we won't make this one too long. We're back again tomorrow, so you'll find us again tomorrow for the transfer tips video, I believe, at 8 p.m. UK time. So join us for that tomorrow, guys. 7 p.m. Sorry, 8 p.m. I should say. Transfer tips, and we're back again on Friday for the team selection, 8 p.m. And then we're back Saturday for the deadline stream. So it's all flat out, streaming 5 days in a row this week. So if you appreciate it and what we do for you guys, all we ask for is a like. And yeah, we are out of here, I think. Anything else you want to add, Jordan, before we do wrap it up?
I think that's pretty much it. That's covered a lot of things tonight. And obviously, thank you guys for your questions and support in the chat. It's always appreciated. And obviously, watching through the stream at just gone 45 minutes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Game Week 22 summed up. It's a fast turnaround, like we've mentioned, with streams coming literally day and up to the moment of Game Week 23. But until then, take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and obviously we'll see you tomorrow.